Okay, here's a rundown for our peak performance class this week. We have our 3 drills we're going to work on. We have our skill drill for center hits, a skill drill for our low point, and then we're going to finish with one on our club face direction. So for the first drill with our center hits, here again we're using the Dr. Scholl's spray on the club face. The first set, we're going to use this as a bit of a warm up. We're just going to hit 5 shots, and the goal here is that every shot must be struck just somewhere on the club face. So even if you hit a couple off the toe or a little bit thin, that's okay. What I did put here is in between your sets, we've got a little bit of a drill you can do to try to make any corrections that are needed. So I've got here, it says, if not, use the hole in the mat to take 10 swings, focused on the correction. So to give you a quick reminder of what that would look like. So here's a mat. So here with the hole in the mat. So if you find that in those initial 5 swings, you hit a few too many balls off the toe. So you're imagining that hole in the mat's where the golf ball is. So come back down here and take some practice swings and actually try to get the feeling of moving your club a little bit more on the outside of that hole or going right over the top of it, or vice versa. If you found you had a few strikes that are too much towards the heel, just come over here to the mat, take some swings without a ball, and just get that feel of the club maybe going a little more on the inside. So these are swings you're going to do in between your sets. If you feel you need to make a little correction, I'd always encourage you to take a few practice swings, focusing on that hole, and just feel moving your club, whether it's a little more outside or a little more inside as you're swinging. So after the first set, we're going to move on to the second one. And what we're doing now is we're just tightening up the parameters a little bit. So for your next set of 5 shots, we want every shot to be within the grooves for our irons. So here's my 7 iron. We just want to make sure that every single strike mark is within the grooves. For the driver, because we will be doing this drill with both a mid iron and a driver, with the driver we're changing, because it's not, the grooves are going to be a little bit different. So with the driver, we're giving you picture the center of the club face. We're going to give you a range 25 millimeters high or low and 35 millimeters towards the toe or the heel. So think of that like a rectangle that we're going to draw on your club face. And we want to see all 5 shots inside that rectangle. So if you're successful there, we're going to move on and tighten them up a little bit more. So for set 3, 5 shots again with my iron. We're going to use the Dr. Scholl's spray, and you have the center of the club face, and we're going to go 3/4 of an inch towards the toe, 3/4 of an inch towards the heel. And then we have a height sort of parameter here, or limit, of the 8th groove. That way you can't just be hitting it fat, having your club go into the mat too much. So there we're going to picture that rectangle, and the goal is to get all of our shots to hit within that area. For the driver, we're going to tighten it up to 20 millimeters towards high and low, and 30 millimeters toe to heel. Our next drill is going to be low point. So here we're using a little training aid called a speed trap, or if you don't have that, we're going to just use painter's tape. So we're going to start with a pitching wedge. I'll show you that one. Here's our speed trap. So we're going to start with the ball in line with the Velcro. So you can see how I've got that golf ball set up, and we're hitting this way towards the target. The idea is for our low point, you should be able to hit this shot. You should be able to hit this golf ball without your club striking the plastic or striking the speed trap. So with the painter's tape, so I could take this out of here, and then it just leaves the painter's tape back there. So same idea, you should be able to hit shots here without your club striking the ground too far back, and that would just give you the feedback as that tape comes off of the mat. So I'm going to put this back here just for the visual again. So we're going to hit our 5 shots. We're going to start with the ball at the Velcro, and then we're just going to move it back as we go along. So then the next one, we're going to move back here to the red line and hit our 5 shots. And then successful there, we're going to go back to the white line. So that starts to get pretty tight, but the idea is we need our low point to be on the target side of this golf ball. So that painter's tape or this plastic should not be in danger of being hit during these swings. If you have to slow down, like take some practice swings without the ball there, and just do it nice and slow to really get the feel of where your low point is, and then add speed as you go. So we're going to do that with a pitching wedge, and then we're going to go back through it with a mid iron. So again, a 5, 6, or a 7 iron. And then our last drill is going to be our club face. Start with that mid iron. We're going to go for 3 shots to the left of the target, just getting the feeling of rotating the club face. So here's our target straight ahead. So just gonna hit a shot, 3 in a row to the left, then we're gonna go 3 to the right, and then you're gonna try to hit the target. And then we're gonna do the same thing again with the driver. So there's our peak performance class for the day. We've got our center hits, low point, and club face direction.